Marcus Aurelius says, "Very little is needed to make a happy life. It is all within yourself, in your way of thinking." This is exactly what we will be discussing in this video. So stay disciplined and watch full video to get into depth of this. Stoicism in theory is a philosophy, and practice is a set of rules to live by. The Stoics believed that life was complicated and full of situations that will test us. So they created rules to help keep us on the right path. In this video, I am going to talk about 11 Stoic rules that I have learned, imposed to become the best version of myself. These 11 rules were created by the Stoic philosophers more than 2,000 years ago, and have been useful to many people throughout history. So I invite you to stay until the end to learn -1 the rules and thus be able to apply them to your life. Before starting, I would appreciate it if you would like the video. In this way, you help me to continue spreading this philosophy. If you are not, I recommend you subscribe and activate the bell, so as not to miss any video. Rule 1: Conquest your mornings. One of the best moments of Marco Aurelius' meditations is the discussion he is with himself. At the beginning of Book 5, he knows he has to get out of bed, but desperately wants to stay under the warm sheets. It is easy to understand, but it is also impressive. Marco Aurelius, he did not have to get out of bed. In reality, he was not obliged to do anything. Many emperors before him had delegated the tasks of government to focus solely on living life, surrounded by luxury. However, Marco Aurelius forced himself not to fall into those temptations and take charge of his tasks very early, because he got up early. Because Marcus Aurelius knew that winning the morning was the key to winning the day and winning in life. He would not have heard the expression that God helps the early riser, but he was very aware that a day well started was a productive day. Personally, I do these 3 actions to have a productive morning. 1. Write a journal. As soon as I wake up, I write the things I have to do during the day, and write a small reflection text about the previous day, where I write things down, what I did well and what I did wrong, to get my mind on what I have to improve on. Writing a diary, it allows me to create a habit every morning and reflect on my life. It reminds me of what I have to do and how I should act. It is necessary to do sports very intensely. By doing sports, I mean getting moving. Go out for a walk, go to the gym, go out and run, whatever you want, as long as it activates you physically. This will wake you up completely and put your mind at ease and ready for the third action. 3. Focus on the work. Once I have carried out the 2 previous actions, I am prepared to concentrate on the task in front of me. I have a video where I talk in more depth about this rule. I leave the video here. Rule to focus on what is under your control. The Stoics placed a lot of emphasis on focusing on the things we can control and forgetting about the things we cannot control. Understanding this will make you much more practical, and you will waste less time worrying about things that do not deserve it. Once you understand it, you will avoid many frustrations and suffering situations, and you will know what is worth focusing on to achieve the objectives you set for yourself. A clear example is in sport. You control how you play. However, you do not control if you win, if the rival is respectful, if the public encourages you or not. When you realize and start to focus on your game instead of on others, you will probably achieve better performance. Apply this to all situations in your life. Rule 3. Do not suffer from imaginary problems in life. Uncertainty situations will generate thoughts that will make us suffer. This is something totally normal. But if we think carefully about it, most of the negative situations that we imagine can never happen. In the words of Seneca, we are more scared than hurt, and we suffer more from the imagination than from reality. Try to focus on the present and stay calm. The most likely thing is that the bad thing that you imagine could happen to you will not end up happening. I leave you a video here where I discuss this topic in more detail. Rule 4. Treat success and failure in the same way. Marco Aurelius, he had an interesting metaphor. He said that all men are like a rock. They threw the rock into the air, and he said, you gain nothing by going up, and you lose nothing by going down. It's still the same rock. It doesn't matter if the day starts with a promotion or ends with a dismissal. It's still the same rock, same person. In fact, normally, negative situations in life teaches many things, so they are even more useful than positive situations. Feel grateful for everything. that happens to you. It doesn't matter if it is good or bad, because regardless of what happens, you continue being the same, and you will be able to learn from any situation. Rule 5: just do one thing every day. This rule should not be applied literally with doing one thing every day. I am referring to two situations. The first is for people who live without goals. It is important focusing on a goal to achieve every day, no matter how small. Living without goals turns a potentially extraordinary life into a mediocre life. The second is for people with many goals. Having big ambitions is not bad, but focus on taking it step by step. Focusing on too many things at the same time can make you lose focus on what is really important. With this rule, I invite you to try to at least achieve one goal that you set for yourself every day. It doesn't matter if it is something basic or something very complex. Make an effort to achieve it. Rule 6: don't look for the easy way. Whenever you want to achieve something, remember that there is no easy way to achieve it. In life, things that are worth it are achieved with effort. Think about any person you consider successful and read their biography. You will see that everything they have done achieve, that person has not achieved with effort and discipline. In fact, that is the key to becoming successful. Difficult paths build your character. They make you learn from your mistakes and encourage you to persevere. The difference between those who achieve great goals and those who it is not their tolerance for effort and sacrifice. Anyone can choose the easy path. That is why there are very few who always achieve what they set out to do. Rule 7: ask yourself if it is necessary. Take a moment to reflect on the things you do in life. Ask yourself this: what I do is necessary? You will realize the number of things we do and that we want in our lives that are totally the amount of time we waste on these things that really do not bring us anything. How do we know if what we do is necessary? Ask yourself why you do the things you do. Find a valuable reason, something worthwhile. If you don't find that valuable reason, what you do is enough in your life. Rule 11: love your destiny. Things don't always turn out the way we want. It's a fact of life. As Seneca said, fortune behaves like replace. His own life was proof of this. Health problems interrupted his political career, and emperor exiled him. He managed to return, only to have the same thing happen to him again. Almost everything was out of Seneca's control. The only part that it depended on him, it was how he decided to see those events, and what he decided to do with them. He chose to see them as something good. He chose to use them. Life will make you live in good and bad situations. It is up to you to decide how to face them. If you look for the positive side of the things that happen alive, constantly lamenting. Rule 9: talk to death. The founder of Stoicism, Zeno, visited the oracle after losing all his wealth to find inspiration on what to do in the future. The oracle told him to live a good life, you must talk to the dead in an oracle. Referring to reading, he invited Zeno to read the books of the philosophers who had lived before him. Reading is an incredible tool. It gives you the ability to read the thoughts and opinions of people who lived thousands of years ago. We live in a world where sometimes every day we look for the newest, and this makes us forget about the old. There is nothing wrong with the new things that appear, but we must not forget the amount of vital knowledge that is written in books. We have the power to converse with the greatest minds of the past, that with their experience, they can guide us and help us in our lives. The worst thing is that millions of people and the world decide to reject this superpower. Take advantage of this. It has never been so easy to have as much ancient knowledge as it is now, thanks to the internet. Rule 10: be tough on yourself and understanding with others. It is important to remember that the Stoic has strict rules. We have strong opinions about what is right and what is not, and this is a big but, we have to be understanding and indulgent with those who have been as Marcus, our earliest rights, separated from the truth. This is the key. Your rules are for you. This does not mean that we allow people to act in an unfair or evil way, but we do not have to be judging everyone who does not behave exactly as we want. In this case, the best we can do is preach by example. If you want to show someone that they are acting in the wrong way, make an effort to act in the right way and show them. It is the best way to make an impact on someone and change their way of thinking. It may take some time, but sooner or later, they will begin to imitate you. Rule 11. Remember that you die every day. In the words of Seneca, this is our great mistake, to think that we look forward towards death, most of death, and it has already passed. All the time that is past is the property of death. That is easy. See, death is something distant. We think of death as an event,